Well, so far so good. Yeah, that was quite a deep patch there, but hopefully the rest is okay. I cannot see the other end. I suspect it's getting deeper and deeper there in the middle. In this series, I ride the Big Three to commemorate the extraordinary legacy of Thomas Bain, master road builder in South Africa. This is the spectacular Swartberg Pass, the challenging Baviaanskloof, and the beautiful Prince Alfred's Pass. It takes me on a journey of more than 2,200 kilometers from Cape Town all the way to Port Elizabeth and back. Thanks for joining me on this experience and to share the views. This is Doodsklip, so this is what the campsites look like, and there seems to be even some toilet facilities, so it can be quite pleasant to camp here, I would think. Let us continue with our onwards journey. Not sure which one of these is now Doodsklip, but I think maybe that peak there, I don't know, maybe closer to the river, I'm not sure. But now some climbing is starting again, it seems. Yeah, but the road is really rough here. Yo. Hoe gaan dit?
Met jou
Goed, dankie.
baie water voor.
Ek wou weet hoe diep is Smitskraal?
Ek weet nou nie dat van Smitskraal nie.
Nee, Smitskraal, die lang water.
Dis so by
Hier so by die middel van die deur. Ja, nee, wat ek sal oor right is, my voete gaan maar 'n bietjie nat word, maar ek sal hom maar rustig vat daardeur.
ja, nee, maar bly net amper weer.
Ja.
Jy kan maar omlê, jy is waterdik.
Nee, as hierdie fiets omval, hy kan nie nat word nie, dan's my trip oor.
Wat CC is dit?
Dis 'n 300. Ja, so hy is 'n Honda CRF. Ja. So hy's 'n lekker ligte fiets.
Ja, nee, ek sien dis 'n baie lekker waaiende hier op pad.
Ek is 'n lang trip van Kaapstad Port Elizabeth en nou van Port Elizabeth af terug. So ek ry nou al die agterpaaie. So ek is nou vandag en ek sommer net daar by Uitspan 'n bietjie slaap as ek net daar kom.
Ons gisteraand daar.
Dis 'n baie lekker plek, nee.
Pragtig.
En dan môre gaan ek nou Prince Alfred Pass af tot by Nysna. Ja. Ja.
Ons het Dinsdag aand in die Gamkaskloof in die hel geslaap.
Dis interessant. Ek was Sondag was ek af in die hel in. So ek het Swartberg Pass af met die motorfiets en terug. So daai pad is my so bietjie rower nog as hierdie, né? Ja.
Weer verseker.
Maar hy's lekker.
Die laaste 5 km.
Ja.
Hy's rol.
Maar hoe rower hoe lekkerder, né? Mooi ry, mooi.
Wees versigtig.
Nee, ek sal mooi ry julle ook. Bye bye. Yeah, what a friendly chat. So when there's so few travelers on the road, there's always stories to exchange. And this man was speculating that there might be elephants due to the huge droppings he saw, but I don't think there's elephants, but buffalo, hartebeest. I'm not sure about buffalo, but I know about the hartebeest. And they can be dangerous, so I will try and stay out of their way. Now, so this section is really steep, so this concrete stacking's certainly helping. Yeah, some beautiful water crossings here. Yeah. Yeah, so what makes it a bit treacherous, these water crossings, the loose stones, but that one was okay. But I'm preparing my mind for Smitskraal. I've been thinking about Smitskraal since before leaving home in Cape Town, because Smitskraal is probably the most significant water crossing, and that was what the man was also talking about. I asked him how deep it is, and he said, "Ah, the bike should be okay." But the problem with Smitskraal is not necessarily the deepness of the water, but it's the distance that you need to go through the water, through quite a number of loose stones. So just to keep the bike stable will be the problem. So I've already decided that I will take it slow. I think this road is now twisting down to Smitskraal. Just look how lush and green this valley is in the Smitskraal area. It seems like we have made it to Smitskraal now. It was quite sudden. Let me just see. It might be it. So now I will have to take it very slow. This part is still, but at least the water is quite clear. But it is quite slippery, so that is the problem. So let me just try and find my way through. This is still a concrete part, so this should be okay. I think the deepest part is this part coming here. But indeed, one can see the stones, but it's now about not letting the bike fall over. Oh, so far so good. Okay, my shoes are a bit wet, but I might be through the worst part. Okay, but there's certainly less water than I remember, because these parts can be quite full of water, but now it's quite open. Okay. Okay, there seems to be a bit of a deeper part coming again. How much fun is this? Almost there, almost there. So this side of Smitskraal is actually a bit deeper, but I'm almost there. Okay, my shoes are a bit wet, but I'm through. I'm through. Yeah. As I said, I was worried about this, but I made it to Smitskraal. Let me make a stop. Smitskraal is a famous picnic spot here. So this is good. I'm really glad I made it safely through. Well, I don't know if you heard it in my voice, but there was a bit of worry. And I was actually upon Smitskraal sooner than I thought. But as I said, it was playing around in my mind since home, how difficult it's going to be to get through. Because Smitskraal crossing is notorious for motorcycles getting stuck and fall over and then get wet and they cannot start it again. So then you are really stuck because you are so far and remote from everyone and from everywhere, and there's no cell phone signal here. So, but I must admit, this is the lowest level of Smitskraal that I've ever seen. So I'm fortunate. I only had 1 or 2 deep patches, and my feet did get a bit wet. So I will just have to take out the boots quickly and maybe wring out the socks a bit. But otherwise, I'm fine, and I'm actually quite relieved. This means for the rest of the trip, I should be fine. This would probably have been the worst water crossing. I think the bike did fantastic. Yeah, so the bike is already drying a bit. But yeah, no problem in getting through. So Honda CRF, you did it again. Yeah, so my boots is not long boots, it's only half calf boots. But yeah, there's not enough water to throw anything out. The sock is a bit wet, so let me see if I just rinse out the sock a bit, whether there will be some water coming out. Ah, indeed, a little bit. So let me do this for what it's worth. So the left foot actually got wet at the start of Smitskraal, and then the right one remained dry, and then right at the end there was a deeper part, and the right foot got wet. So it is simply just a little bit too deep to step into. Actually, I do have dry socks. Let me just get out the dry sock. I will hop on my one leg because I don't want to step on the ground now. Ha! Dry socks. I suspect it is a bit wet inside of the shoe. But yeah, let me give me at least the convenience of a dry sock to start off again. Yeah, this one didn't get as wet. So in the end, the right foot was the one that got the wettest. There's a deer entering the picnic site. There's quite a lot of wild animals here. Not quite sure what kind of deer that is. I'll try and film it if I do get the opportunity, but I first have to get my shoe on. I think now is also a good time to maybe take off my jacket a bit. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but the deer is lying there. It might be the Smitskraal deer. It's quite a tame one, used to people coming. Okay, let's continue. We are not quite halfway through yet. Let's just have a bit of a look here on the board. There you can see it shows you where that orange hand is, where we are at the moment, but we are not riding out. So I would say we're about between a third and halfway through, not quite halfway yet, to Uitspan. Let's go. This feels much better now. I've taken off my, both the rain jacket. Well, the rain jacket is off some time ago, but I took off my long sleeve shirt as well. It is not hot, but it is just more comfortable because it is heating up a little bit. Yeah, I'm really pleased that I made it through Smitskraal so easy. In the end, it was actually very easy. It could have been much more difficult, Because as I said, I mean, people do get stuck there. And if you get stuck while you are completely alone on a quiet road, then it's not as good, or not as nice. But so far so good. I suspect this might be the start of the Grasnek Pass. I can see some more evidence of this dry stone building work. You can see how the road is climbing up there in front. What a nice twisty road. All I know is the Grasnek Pass is not as steep and high as the Swartberg Pass and the Holgat Pass, so that's why I'm not quite so sure how easy it is to just identify the pass, because the road is in any case up and down and narrow, twisty. But I know there's a beautiful, beautiful viewpoint up front. Maybe that viewpoint is part of Grasnek Pass. We will definitely make a stop there. This must be the Grasnek Pass. It is now really twisting up. You can see the road going there. Oh, but the views, the views. You can look all the way back to Doodsklip there. Sure. I can certainly feel that we've climbed now. Suddenly a bit cooler, a bit more of a breeze, but yeah, the views. Let me just make a quick turn here, because I believe this is where the viewpoint is. Yeah, indeed. Ah, there is the Sentinel Peak. Yeah, this is most certainly the Grasnek Pass. I just checked on my notes, so it is. The information says that once you get to Grasnek, the sentinels of Baviaanskloof becomes visible, so you can see these more sharper peaks, and certainly that one there at the back is clearly visible. But sure, but the views to all sides are just magnificent. Because I think if you walk a bit to this side, you can see the road coming up. Yeah, there you can see how the road is twisting up and down all the way up the Grasnek Pass. Beautiful. Grasnek, indeed. There is a faded little board. So if there was any doubt still left, that confirmed it. Oh, there you can also have a beautiful view on the sentinels. I don't know what was on this board, but there are just so many stickers. This is a very popular road to ride. Just look at these sheer drops down. So the Grasnek Pass is actually 8.3 kilometers long, so I don't know exactly where it starts and where it stops, but it's quite a distance. Yeah, so it's quite a long descent. So Grasnek Pass is actually an average gradient of 1 to 11, so it is a significant, yeah, steepness to this pass, and you can certainly see it on this section as well. Just a very pleasant ride. Yeah. Thanks, Thomas Bain. You made this possible for us. That was nice. Cleaning my shoes a bit. Yeah, and yet again, a tortoise. He's quite a big one. He's just finding his way. Well, I don't know if it's a he or a she. Such interesting creatures, yeah. Okay, so here is my next challenge. I knew about this water, but I always felt this water is less tricky than Smitskraal, but yeah, it seems a bit difficult because you cannot see the bottom of the water as in Smitskraal. It is really, yeah, muddy water, and I can see the water is flowing there in front, but I have no choice but to just walk it through. My feet is probably going to get proper wet now, and I also don't have any idea how deep this is, so I can only walk this through. I have to get through. This is this is the road. So let me see. Now, this is quite deep. Yeah, that was quite a deep patch there, but hopefully the rest is okay. I'm not sure if this is a cement drift or not, but oh yes, it is cement. So so that makes it a bit easier. Yo, now I can see. So okay, it is not as bad as I thought it's going to be, but there's a few stones here. I'm through. My right foot got a bit wet, but I'm just going to continue. Oh, it had me stressed a bit. It started off real deep. Yo, this is such a beautiful little path. Yo, it's just winding itself through the vegetation. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a challenge. There's lots of mud. So once again, I will have to walk it through. It does seem a little bit shallower on the right, so let me rather go to the right. I hope I don't slip. Okay, let me try. I cannot see the other end. I suspect it's getting deeper and deeper there in the middle. Yeah. This is quite a significant crossing. I should not have been worried about Smitskraal. I should have been more worried about some of these parts. Yeah, there's some significant stones, so I have to get the bike. Yeah, so far so good. At least I'm keeping my balance. It's a bit stinky. Okay, I'm getting through. Oh, this is a bit stressful for me. Let's see. It's another part to get through. Oh, now it suddenly goes in deep. Oh, that was quite deep. Didn't expect that. But I'm through, sure. But how exciting! I'm loving this! Honda CRF, I know you can do it, it's about me! Yeah, no, that was great. Sure, I wonder how many of these deeper water crossings. I cannot remember, I mean I've driven this road, but I cannot remember more of these now. There's certainly more water crossings, but those ones were quite deep. Yeah, but the road remains beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it could have. Don't know if you saw it, but it jumped straight over a large bush. Okay, again some water, but at least this is a cement one, so should be fine. Yep, no, this is okay. Goes a bit deep, but at least it's solid footing. Yo. Didn't expect that, sure. Yeah, there was a bit of a dip there. Don't know why it is so narrow here. This is just to keep the animals in. Yeah, so it took me about 3.5 hours to ride from the western gate to the eastern gate of the the time has flown. It doesn't feel like 3.5 hours. I think it is because I've been concentrating basically all the time. But yeah, we are very close now to the western gate. The road is certainly quite bumpy and washboard this last section. Indeed, there is the gate in front. But what an exciting ride, yeah! Baie dankie, Lisma. Jy moet 'n lekker dag hê verder. Bye. That was friendly Lisma at the western gates of the Baviaanskloof. So we are through. The Baviaanskloof of course continues, but we are now back on farm area and so on. And there's a few other places that we will now see next to the road. I think police station and a church amongst other things. Oh, just look at these cliffs here. Yeah, so Uitspan Guest Farm is about 55 kilometers from the western gate of the Baviaanskloof Nature Reserve. So we are continuing to explore the Baviaanskloof. So this is great. It just remains beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so the Dutch Reformed Church was the first church that was established in the kloof, and here on the right hand side is the Baviaanskloof Dutch Reformed Church. Let's just make a stop. So this church was built in 1918, but it is actually the second church, because the first church, or the second church building, because the first church building actually washed away in a flood in 1916. Let's have a closer look. I just made a stop here at the Dutch Reformed Church in Baviaanskloof. Yeah, I need a leg stretch, I need a bit of maybe a sip of water, but I just find this church quite fascinating here, isolated in the kloof. There's no other buildings really around it, and no, it's more than 100 years old. Let's go and have a closer look. Yeah, so there was an earlier church, so I'm not sure what year the first church was built, but what I know is it washed away in a flood already in 1916, and then it took 2 years to build a new one. And this is the church that was built in 1918. So it says here, this stone was laid by Mrs. J.R. Albertine, 16 February 1918. I just wonder if this congregation is still active. And then there is a bell with a backdrop of the kloof that goes in there. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, this bell can obviously still ring. Ah, that was now quite a nice stop at the Dutch Reformed Church in Baviaanskloof. So there's still another 47 kilometers to go to Uitspan. There's just one more stop that I want to make before we get to Uitspan. And that is to get some roosterkoek for tonight. Now I did buy an extra roosterkoek at Patlangs in Patensie, but I'm looking forward to Vero's roosterkoek. So Vero is a lady that sells roosterkoek from her house next to the road, and it's a little bit of a distance still to go, but I'm gonna make a stop and just check with Vero whether she's got roosterkoek. But let's enjoy this last beautiful stretch to Uitspan. Sure, lots of damage here. Oh, look at this. Suddenly, yeah. Yeah, this valley is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so here the road through the Baviaanskloof suddenly narrows again. Yeah, it's certainly beautiful here. Yo. No, the beauty is not ending. The beauty continues. This road is absolutely amazing. Yeah. Here again is some of that rock formations where the rocks have been twisted and set in beautiful patterns. Yeah. I have now suddenly realized that I've never driven or ridden the Baviaanskloof, this section of the Baviaanskloof in this direction. So I'm actually seeing things that I've not seen before. I mean, I've done the Baviaanskloof a few times. This side a little bit less than the other side, but it's the first time that I'm actually riding through from this side. So it just shows you actually need to ride this in both directions to really appreciate all the features and the beauty that you can see. Okay, so here in the front is Baviaanspadstal, so this is another popular place to stop next to the road. I'm not going to stop here, I'm going to stop a little bit further. But yeah, beautiful place to also get something to eat and also to buy some jams and other local produce from the valley and the kloof. Yeah, just look how beautiful. Yeah, this is quite a steep road down. We are now getting close to Vero's shop, so we will make a stop very soon. But I'm also very close to Uitspan. We are 9 kilometers, so the trip for today is almost done. Now the Baviaanskloof road keeps on surprising. The moment you think now you are through and it's just a flat road, suddenly there's beautiful features, a steep descent, and yeah, just lots of variation. This is a fantastic road. Okay, so this is Vero's. Let me make a stop. Yeah, so I made a stop here at Vero's restaurant and craft shop in the hope of getting some roosterkoeken, but I didn't. Well, I thought there might not be. It's maybe a bit late in the day. It's now close to 5 o'clock, and I spoke to Vero, and she said, no, unfortunately, she's out of roosterkoeken. But I asked her whether I can just take a little bit of a video of what it looks like here, because it's not only a restaurant, it's also a craft shop, and she's also has a beautiful garden. So let's just have a bit of a look. Yeah, so this is Vero's Vars Roosterkoek restaurant. And she's got seating area here right next to the road. So here one can, if you're earlier in the day, you can get some roosterkoek and you can sit down and enjoy it here. It's also in a beautiful part of the kloof. And she's got a beautiful garden. Yeah, the roses are absolutely stunning. Just look at these plants here. and she also has some small cacti in cans that you can buy. Okay, but it was a long day on the bike, so let me do the last 9 kilometers or so to Uitspan Guest Farm that I can settle for the night. Yeah, so that was Vero's restaurant. Unfortunately, no rooster cooker, but I had it at more than one occasion in the past, so highly recommend it. Don't drive past or ride past Vero's. She's also very friendly and lovely to chat to. Okay, now the last stretch, about 8 kilometers to Uitspan. I must say it has turned a bit chilly now, so I'm feeling a bit cold. It was never extremely hot today, but it was actually just pleasant for some riding. But now it will be good to get a bit warmer. But yeah, just a beautiful road that continues and continues. It's almost overwhelming. It's almost too much for one day. But what a spectacular ride. Yeah. I've been looking forward to this, and it is great. And we are not done yet. We are not completely through the kloof. Tomorrow there's also still one pass remaining that we will definitely have a closer look at. So here on the left is Makadaat Caves. So this is fantastic accommodation. Really accommodation built in the caves. So Anthony and myself have stayed there before, and we made a video on the Backroad Chronicles channel, so I will put the link to the video. That was part of our Karoo series, actually not part of the Baviaan series, and I will put a link to that video. So if you want to see what those caves look like, I will also put a clip in here just so that you get some sense, so that you get some idea what it looks like. But go and have a look at that video if you want to see more. Beautiful. The Makadaat Caves is basically right next to Uitspan, about 2 kilometers away, so we are almost there. So yes, we have stayed here before. So when I made this booking, I simply contacted Nico and Alta from Uitspan and asked whether they will have accommodation for me, and they said no problem. They've got a self-catering unit that I can stay in for the night. So if you're also interested in staying in Uitspan, I will make sure to put their contact details in the video description, so please have a look. Well, Uitspan has campsites, beautiful campsites. They have some chalets and then very interesting walks that you can do up the mountain but also into the gorge. Just a lovely place. Here more towards the western end of the Baviaanskloof. Yeah, it's beautiful. Ah, what a friendly reception here at Uitspan Guest Farm by Nico. So in the end he put me in one of their permanent caravans. So this is not the first time on Werner's view that I will be sleeping in a permanent caravan. But the setup here looks fantastic. Yeah, so there's a piece of lawn just in front of the building that actually houses the caravans. There's 2 caravans, so I can choose in which one I want to stay. But you can see all of this is under one roof. So a lovely space to just relax, and there's a braai. So you look at the caravans. So you've got the first one, nice big bed. Oh, this side is also a bed. Oh, so there's quite a lot of sleeping space here. And then there's a second caravan. It's also got a bed on this side and a bed on this side. So yeah, so this is quite a spacious caravan. I must still decide in which one I'm going to sleep. Then there's like a kitchen area on this side. Yeah, and I also organized, or Niku organized, for a braai pack. So I will have meat and wood. So I will tonight put some meat on the fire, and then the bathroom facilities is in this little building outside. Yeah, so there's a shower, toilet, basin, beautiful, and then the view into the valley. I'm going to enjoy my stay here. Sure, but what a day, what a day. This trip was one of the best trips I've ever done on Werner's View in terms of enjoyment, continuous beauty, challenge of riding the road, and yeah, I'm just glad I can bring this to you. I was quite weary, quite worried about some of the water crossings, especially Smitskraal. In the end, Smitskraal was no problem. There were a few others that were a bit more challenging, but in the end, went through it no problem. Thank you very much for joining me on this ride. If you enjoyed it, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow I continue. We are not quite through the kloof yet, so there's some beautiful parts that still remains, but I will bring that to you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.